Hello everyone and welcome to the New York Empoleon's Week 2 Battle of the UBL Season 3. Now we lost last week to a flinch air slash. Of course, I talked to Sohan afterwards. He's like, yeah, you probably would have won if you had just gotten an attack off. The way the battle all would have worked out. It is what it is. We are putting that behind us. It was during a week of hacks and a season of hacks. The GBA has ended. We can put the hacks behind us and move forward now. But anyway, this week we are going to be taking on Frosted and her Copenhagen Sawsbucks. Sawsbuck, you know, obviously one of my favorite low-tier mons in the format. She did not draft it, nor did I in this particular league, but we are going to be taking her on this week, and her team is actually horrifying. Kartana, Zapdos, Donphan, Incineroar, Suicune, Zygarde 10%, Hariyama, Lantern, Metang, Vileplume, and Mega Diancie. So if you know that I dropped Suicune after week 1, she picked it up within like an hour. It was like dropped, picked up immediately. I could have traded, maybe, but I'm glad I got Slowbro. I haven't brought it yet, but you know, we will bring Slowbro at some point. We're going to jump right into this. You guys are going to see my team builder here, and obviously these are going to be super quick team builders using just this format. I'm not even really going to change what I'm doing or anything like that, but I'll walk you guys through my sets, my thought process, and then we'll jump into the battle. These will take like 5 minutes, and we're going to go. I don't really want to record a whole team builder for this league. I just want to take this league a little bit easier and have some fun with it. So, the first thing I have is Tapu Koko. This is not a dedicated lead, but it is a pretty good lead because it has the Shuka Berry and the Taunt. So, if I do have it lead against the Zygarde, barring a Scarf Zygarde, which would surprise me and also can't kill me, Dazzling Gleam is super free. If it leads against the Donphan, then Taunt is a very good play, since the most predictable thing for me to do would be switch out. Taunt can also stop the Zapdos from doing like Toxics or any real shenanigans there. And barring a Scarf on something like a Kartana, I will be able to outspeed that. So this is a really good lead. It outspeeds her entire team, and we are going to be able to threaten the Suicune and the Zygarde and the Incineroar. And the Donphan doesn't know if we're running Grass Knot or not. And I was for a little while, but I decided to swap it over to the U-turn. I figured that was more useful, and Taunt is just going to help me generally keep things from doing too much. Lantern can't do much to me if it's taunted. Can't Heal Bell. It can't Toxic, things like that. So that's a really good, useful move for Koko this week, and the Shuka Berry will allow it to take any hit, and I have enough speed to outspeed everything, and then otherwise I'm just running max special attack and not caring that U-turn's not going to do a lot of damage. Next up is going to be the Heracross. Heracross is going to Stone Edge, Knock Off, Close Combat, and Toxic is that last move. I know that my logo kind of covers it, and I apologize for that. But it is going to be Adamant with the Guts and the Flame Orb. This is the mon that I built my whole team around, and I'm super excited to use it, so we're going to jump right in with this thing. This thing hits... The only thing that really walls it is Zapdos, and Guts boosted Flame Orb, well, the Guts boosted Stone Edge is going to do like 70% to a physically defensive Zapdos. So, not to mention, if Donphan does come in to try to wall me, it can't really do anything to me outside of like if it has Play Rough, and then I can click Toxic or Knock Off. And otherwise, Incineroar can't safely switch into this thing. Suicune does not appreciate taking Guts-boosted close combats. This thing can switch in on Toxics, flying its way. It's almost a pretty much safe switch into Zygarde, barring like an Outrage, but I can even live one Outrage. So, unless he's banded, but we'll get there, but yeah, so this thing hits super hard. I didn't really need Mega Horn this week, even though Mega Horn's incredibly good, just because nothing is weak to Bug except for... no, nothing is weak to Bug, is basically where that came down to. So I decided not to run Mega Horn this week, and Knock Off was going to be the coverage move of choice, just because it's a generally useful move, and can just be spammed against whatever. Next up is Rotom Mow, Defog, Volt Switch, Leaf Storm, and Toxic as well in the Rotom Mow. It is physically defensive to be able to handle threats like the Kartana, which has the added benefit of resisting the dual stabs of. It resists the Suicune, and is super effective with both of its stabs. It resists, or it's not weak to the 1,000 Arrows from the Zygarde. It is immune to Donphan's stab, so it actually matched up incredibly well against this entire team, and I was super happy about it. It walls the Lantern as well. So just the stab moves, and then Toxic thrown on there for coverage for things like the Donphan that might want to try to switch into a Volt Switch. Or whatever. Now, obviously, I do have to watch out for the Mega Diancie, which is a decent switch into this if I'm not going to be spamming Leaf Storm. And Leaf Storm is fairly spammable, but Incineroar is very free if that happens. And I'm not running a lot of speed. I'm running just enough speed to outspeed an uninvested Zapdos, which means that Incineroar would need a lot of speed to outspeed me, so I'm pretty sure I'll outspeed the Incineroar, even if she decides to run a fast one. Next up is going to be my Custap Berry Skarmory, Spike, Stealth Rock, Ironhead, and Roost. This thing is basically going to be able to set up a hazard, maybe even 2 layers of a hazard, and pick up a kill on something like the Mega Diancie that thinks it's going to be able to take it out. I go down to Sturdy, I eat my Cuss Staff, I Ironhead the Diancie, and I am able to take that out. Or the Incineroar, set up an extra layer of spikes or stealth rocks if that is the way that this battle is going. So I have the dual hazards here, and just because they're really, really good against her team, they allow me to hit things hard. I just have to watch out for that Mega Diancie. Next up, we have Charizard X. Coming back this week, Dragon Dance, Roost, Flare Blitz, and Earthquake. Hopefully not going to get flinched. Fingers crossed. And this just hits, I mean, it's incredibly hard. If I can get off a Dragon Dance at some point, I can basically sweep the entire team. Flare Blitz at +1 can OHKO a max HP, specially defensive Donphan after 1 layer of spikes. And then Roost can heal a lot of the damage that I'm taking for myself. I really do want this thing to be sort of a pivot, so I do need my Rotom to be able to switch in and out to get rid of rocks if she is setting them up. And finally, we do have my Choice Scarf Cryogonal this week coming. Flash Cannon, Freeze Dry, Ice Beam, and Knockoff. I will never click Knockoff unless the Metang is there, because Metang is a very easy switch into this thing. Or if I know the Incineroar is coming in, since that does switch in pretty freely. And otherwise, Freeze Dry is super spammable against this team. Just incredibly spammable. And if the Suicune goes down and the Lantern goes down, then Ice Beam is more spammable because it's just as good against most of the things, but except for the water types, and a little bit stronger. And there's a couple of noticeable things that Ice Beam does. It can potentially OHKO the Kartana where Freeze Dry fails to do so. It does a little bit more to Zapdos. I believe it's a 2 KO against specially defensive Zapdos instead of a 3 KO. So those kind of things are significant and was worth me sacrificing some other coverage like Rapid Spin in order to put that on, just in case I needed it late game. This thing is actually a great pivot and revenge killer as long as obviously rocks aren't up. So Rotom, very aggressive against things like the Donphan and the Metang, and the Mega Diancie. Those are the only switch-ins, or the only things that can set up rocks, and also the only things that, there's something that Rotom handles pretty well all across the board. So that's really good. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys back here in a second as we take on Frosted and her Copenhagen Sawsbucks. As you always know, the link is to her channels in the description below, so go check her out, and I will see you guys back here in a second. All right, everyone, welcome back. We're done. She's done. We're ready. Let's see how this battle goes. I'm super excited to move on forward in the UBL, and she has the Zapdos, Lantern, Donphan. She does not have the Suicune, which is actually interesting. Suicune was one of the hardest stops to Charizard. Donphan's sort of the other one, but Charizard can sort of handle that. But pretty much everything else I sort of expected her to have. She has no Kartana. I wasn't super threatened by the Kartana. Mega Diancie's definitely more threatening than that. Okay, so. Barring a Scarf Zygarde, nothing else really looks like it would be Scarfed. And Coco's a really good lead, because I can taunt the Donphan, and if it goes for an EQ, I have the Shuka. And then I immediately go into Skarm. I can't Thunderbolt freely. She does have 3 immunities to it, assuming the Lantern is Volt Absorb, which it should be. But I do have U-Turn, so that isn't too much of an issue. And then I can go into the Skarmory if the Donphan is taunted, and I should be able to go from there. Now, if she leads with the Mega Diancie, then I can either stay in and do a ton of damage to it in electric terrain, not kill it, but also not die to a Moonblast or an Earth Power, because I have enough bulk to survive a modest Moonblast for Mega Diancie. But I do think my play at that point is just to go into Skarm. Giant Squid is the Lantern. Okay, so there's really no sense in leaving my Coco in right now. She could Volt Switch with this. She could Toxic. Toxic would probably be worst case scenario, since my switch in here is to the Rotom almost every time. There's really nothing stopping me from doing that. I could Taunt, but I just don't see that being the best play. So I'm just going to click U-Turn, not give away too much information. It's not the Donphan lead, which I'm fine with. So she wasn't saying, I need to get hazards up from the word go, and I wasn't saying, I need to get hazards up from the word go. And both of us looked at the other person and said, they're probably going to need to get hazards up from the word go, so we're just going to put our leads out, our counter leads to their hazard leads out. Goes for the Protect. Okay, so we know she has Protect. That probably means she's Leftovers and Toxic. which is annoying but isn't the end of the world. Now, this thing can't really do all that much. I assume she's going to be bulkier as a result of the Protect. So we're looking at probably something like 30% with a Scald max, which keeps me out of the range of whatchamacallit, Earth Power from a Mega Diancie, if she goes for the Scald here. Now, I showed that I wanted to U-turn probably into the Rotom, and she knows that. But I'm going to click Taunt this turn, kind of expecting her not to just straight up attack me. And go straight for the Volt Switch. Okay. Well, that's fine. I actually don't mind my Koko being in here at all. And yes, the taunt kind of fizzled. It didn't really do anything, and she knows I have it now, but I actually don't mind my Koko being in here at all, I'm going to be honest. So, now she has to switch something into my Koko. And I do outspeed a Zygarde 10%. Which can't kill me with 1,000 arrows. Unless, I mean, even as banded, right? Choice band. I didn't see how much the Volt Switch did. If it's choice banded and adamant, it's a roll, but U-turn's the play for now. Are you Scarfed? I guess I can Scout Scarf here. I don't lose much by doing it. I can just click U-turn, and if she does go 1,000 arrows, that's fine. I can just go into my Heracross at this point pretty freely. Because if she clicks 1,000 arrows and she's choice banded, it's still not even a 2 KO. And if she clicks it and she's Scarfed, then it hits my Koko and I live. Thanks to the Shuka. So I'm going to U-turn here, scout out what she wants to do. She's going to double. Okay, so she just immediately doubles, reveals nothing, and goes out into the Incineroar. Okay. Well, I U-turned, so we'll get a little bit of damage off. Really negligible damage, yeah, like 12%. And Incin is tough for my team to deal with. I can go Charizard. She could have the Tectonic Rage. That's the one thing that stops my Charizard from just kind of sweeping here. Because if she has the Earthquake... Earthquake itself isn't going to kill. Tectonic Rage also... Well, it should kill. And my Earthquake... I'm not intimidated, is not killing from there. Now, I could also go out into my Incineroar. Not my Incineroar. Yeah, I have an Incineroar too. Into my Heracross. Which theoretically outspeeds this thing. The other option is going Rotom, scouting out what item this thing might be. Because again, my Rotom is designed to outspeed a non-invested Zapdos, so it's very fast. And then, but if I click Volt Switch, she'll just switch. So I'm going to go into Heracross, which is also incredibly fast. It outspeeds this thing if it's not Scarfed every time. Now Scarf Incin could exist, and she could kill my Heracross here. But Stone Edge will kill. Because I'm not intimidated. And yes, Flare Blitz will also kill me, but then I'll know you're Scarfed, and then I can go into Charizard for free and set up a Dragonette. So that's actually, it's an annoying thing, but it's a doable thing. So I'm just going to click Stone Edge here. If she goes Donphan, that's, you know, I'd be surprised. Honestly, I'd be surprised if she goes anything but Zapdos here. And I did decide to dump a lot of speed into Heracross because of the Incineroar. Because of how much of a problem it is for my team. The way she brought it in, I'm not sure if she's Scarfed or not. It seemed like she probably brought it in to bait the Dazzling Gleam, and I didn't click it. So she does go Donphan, which is actually fairly surprising. I missed. Okay. Well, you know what would have happened is that Stone Edge damage plus close combat damage would have killed. Instead, she's going to be able to get Stealth Rocks up here. Play Rough doesn't kill me. I mean, it does if I click close combat. Man, that's annoying. I can knock off. I can Toxic as well. Or I can just go Rotom. And have the Defog. Which I think is the better play, honestly. Oh, that's so frustrating, because that would have done 20%. I would have been able to scout out some of her investments. If it did less, then I would know. Okay, so here we are. Now, so the two options are Skarmory, which I can go into, and Skarmory will be able to threaten by setting up its own hazards, but then Donphan just rapid spins. Or Rotom, which gets rid of the Stealth Rocks that are definitely coming, and threatens with a Leaf Storm in return, and I just defog, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Rotom. It's really frustrating that missed, because I could have just clicked Close Combat, killed the Donphan, potentially, depending on what investment she was. And she does go actually straight for the Play Rough here. And we see that do a decent amount of damage, but nothing crazy. Now, I think she's going to switch out. The thing is, her switches aren't into her electric immunities. Because they are all weak to grass. But I think the best play here, Mega Diancie hasn't Mega Evolved, is just Toxic. And no matter what she does, Toxic hits something. And I get to scout out what her switch-in is. Is it Lantern? Because Toxicing that thing would be great. Except the most predictable thing for me to do right here is to click the Leaf Storm. Now, she could be Rindo Berry. That's certainly a thing that she could be on this Donphan. She could also be Assault Vested, which means it would take the Leaf Storm. But I don't think that's the case. And so I just want to know what your switch-in is. Zapdos. Okay, I'm perfectly comfortable getting a Toxic on the Zapdos. Now, Lantern can have Heal Bell, but that's just damage on the Zapdos right here. That's damage on the Zapdos. I'm going to click Volt Switch, because I want to know if I outspeed this thing, or if this thing has speed investment. I have one more point of speed than a Zapdos that doesn't have speed investment. She may double. She's switching a lot, which means I do want to get my Stealth Rocks up as soon as possible. But obviously I can't set them up on the Zapdos. But I do have my Cryogonal that can come in on the Zapdos. And then, I don't know from there what it would do, because then it just baits in the Incineroar, which I might have to play into. But yeah, I think Volt Switch is the play. I want to scout out if I'm faster or not. Goes for the Heat Wave. So this thing actually does have the speed investment to outspeed the Rotom. That's actually fine. And we do survive, which is pretty cool. And that actually did a decent amount of damage. So this may be Zapdos. This is not a bulky Zapdos. That did a lot of damage. Okay, so I could go into Cryo here. I don't think that's the play. I can go into Charizard. Zapdos could Thunder Wave, but I do threaten it. And I don't think she just wants to lose Zapdos here. If I'm at neutral, I kill from there. And Flare Blitz just hits everything. So barring a Thunder Wave here, I do actually think this is the best time to get my Mega Evolution off. There's the leftovers, okay. But Toxic's going to bring you down to where I should be able to kill you with a Flare Blitz. Do I just go straight for the Flare Blitz, or do I go for the Dragon Dance and potentially sweep this whole game from here? Because Zygarde, 10%, at +1. If it's not like bulky Zygarde 10%, it dies to a... Yeah, I think I'll risk... okay, there's two things I have to risk. First, I have to risk her not having the Thunder Wave. Then I have to risk her not staticking. But I'm going to click Dragon Dance. She stays in. She probably has the Thunder Wave here. That would be really annoying. Not the end of the world. Because I can continue to set up on this thing. Ancient Power. And she outspeeds me. I mean, I'm not running a lot of speed investment. Don't get the boost. Okay, no boost. Dragon Dance. Yeah, I have to watch out for static because she didn't have pressure. Now I could Roost. Hope she doesn't hit the boost again. But I don't think that's the play. The thing Roost would do is I take less from Flare Blitz. Or like I take less from Flare Blitz recoil. 30%. 30%. Is this the turn? Is this the season where Charizard just... If I take enough Flare Blitz recoil, I will also be in range of E-Speed from the Zygarde. If it's banded. It's going to do about 30%. So I kind of want to Roost, counter her not getting the 10% boost, and keep myself out of the range of Zygarde's attack. But if she gets the boost, the 10% boost is way less likely than the 30% static. Like, there's no denying that. But and then Zygarde comes in. So I kind of have to Roost, right? Because then if I Roost, she doesn't get the boost. Then I take less from recoil the following turn. And if she does get the boost, then I lose, potentially? I think that's too much of a risk. I'm going to click Flare Blitz here. I'm going to get static paralyzed. We all know it's going to happen. We all know it's about to be here. So Mega Charizard X kills Zapdos with Flare Blitz. Zygarde, if it's Choice Banded, 2/2 attack, Choice Banded Zygarde, Extreme Speed, maxes out at 68 damage. And I have 69 health. And Flare Blitz kills. Now if she's Scarfed, then she does an Extreme Speed. But then I know she's Scarfed. So I think that the play is to Flare Blitz here. Or is it to Roost? Because then if she's Scarfed, 1,000 Arrows kills. But then I know she's Scarfed. The Flare Blitz recoil will probably take me out. But I think that's still my best play. 1,000 Arrows, so it is Choice Scarfed. Okay. Well, now I know. So, Zygarde, 10% kills Mega Charizard X with 1,000 Arrows. Okay, so I know you're Choice Scarfed into 1,000 Arrows now, which means that I can click Close Combat now that the Zapdos is gone and get a kill here every time. Literally nothing is stopping me. Heracross to Zygarde. 10%. Close Combat kills if you're max HP. Deancey. Even Unmega Evolved, this has a 56% chance to kill. Incineroar gets the Intimidate, Close Combat kills. Lantern dies to Close Combat. Donphan dies to 2. So yeah, Close Combat's free. And I think she's going to switch. I think she has to go Donphan here. But it dies to 2. It dies to 2. very easily. Yeah, and so you can Ice Shard, and I'm at -1 defense. So, like, it's not a negligible amount of damage. It's like 20%. And if you're more offensively invested, then it's a little bit more than 20%. Or I can switch out at this point into my Skarm, which I think is actually the better play. Or my Rotom, because if she sets up rocks... I mean, theoretically, this was a sack, right? So I either go Rotom here, stay in, and just click it again. But the thing is, from here on out, anytime she brings in Zygarde, I can get in my Heracross and get a kill. And my Coco is still out of range of 1,000 arrows from Scarf Zygarde. So I'm going to go Skarm here, I think. Right? And then I can set up rocks, break a Sash on anything. I don't think nothing has a Sash. No, I think Ice Shard, if she's max attack adamant, I mean, there's no chance that it's going to, like, kill me, but do I really want to take 30%? I don't think it matters, if we're being perfectly honest. I think just clicking Close Combat again is the play. Literally nothing is really stopping me. Yeah, I click it again. She doesn't go for the Ice Shard. And Donphan's going to go down. So Heracross kills Donphan with Close Combat. And I switch this thing out. No matter what, no matter what, I switch this thing out because it literally gets a kill every single time it comes in. If it's Diancie that comes in here, I go Skarmory. If it's Zygarde, I go Rotom, sack, go back into this thing. And if it's Incineroar, actually, it might do the same thing with Incineroar. I might go Rotom, sack, and go back into this thing. The only thing that this thing does not come back in on is Diancie, which is exactly what she goes into. But Skarmory should be able to take any hit from this thing. Moonblast is a 3 KO, and Diamond Storm, if she's specially offensive, is a 3 KO. Yeah, Moonblast is a guaranteed 3 KO on this thing. Now, the thing that she could do is Hidden Power Fire, which would be a 2 KO, but there's a good chance that she activates... She pops my whatchamacallit at that point. Or I just go into Rotom and sack it. Which actually seems like not a terrible play. Scout out what she wants to do. And then be able to go into Skarm with Sturdy intact. I think she just wants to Moonblast here. I think she's kind of forced to do that. So I'm going to go Rotom. I'm going to sack Rotom. Rotom's done exactly what I needed it to do, which is put the Zapdos in a position where it needed to die. And so, Rotom, you did your job. Get this Mega Diancie to evolve, Mega Evolve, because then it doesn't survive a close combat either. And we will be able to... It goes for Power Gem here. Okay. We will be able to go out into my Skarmory if I want to. Or my Cryogonal. Now that I know you have Power Gem, and not Diamond Storm, you might have both, but I don't see that coverage. Oh, I have to write down Mega Diancie kills Rotom Mo with Power Gem. Okay. I mean, Flash Cannon kills, but that would be suspicious. I don't think I need to reveal that yet. She'd also just go straight into Incineroar, which is annoying, and I don't want to do that. So we're just going to go... Well, she'll go into Incin on Skarm also. But I still have to go into Skarm here. I still threaten her out. And the question is, do I predict that and go for rocks? Or spikes? Spikes are better. Generally better. Or do I just go for an Iron Head here? And know she's going to go Incineroar. She's 100% going Incineroar. But Iron Head's doing literally nothing to it anyway. But setting up rocks on my side of the field... Well, spikes actually don't really matter to me that much. Coco stays out of range of a Scarfed 1,000 arrows. Yeah. Coco stays out of range of a Scarf 1000 arrows after 1 layer of spikes. But she's definitely switching out. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to have some fun. It would shock me if she stays in right here. She's really thinking about this play. Goes for the power gem, so she actually does stay in. And that's really unfortunate. That did not put me in range of Custap either. That did not put me in range of Custap. Alright. Well. Yeah, what is 63 out of 172? Yeah, nope. Oh, Skarmory, Skarmory, Skarmory. How much does Cryogonal take from Power Gem? Alright. That's terrible. I mean, I'm gonna click Ironhead. But that's just me being... There's a roll there that she could have, because it looks like that's modest. Kills Skarmory with Power Gem. I have no choice at this point. I have to go into Cryogonal. I have to click Flash Cannon. Have to click Flash Cannon here. And hope she lets me kill this thing. But she won't. Man, if I just click Ironhead... Why didn't I click Ironhead? What was the drawback to clicking Ironhead there? I honestly don't know. Because then Incin comes in, and then I click Spikes. And let my Skarm... My Skarm's still at sturdy. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that. That was a pretty big misplay. She's going to switch out into Incineroar here. And there's no Stealth Rocks or Spikes or anything on her side of the field. And Cryo... Do you have to go down here? I mean, I could sack Coco. I was in a great position until that moment, but I think I sack Cryo here. I still have answers to her team if I need them, or like if I can get damage off. So I click Flash Cannon. How does... What? Z Snatch Incineroar. Z Snatch Incin. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got beat. I just got played and I just got beat. The only way I win this is if she goes for a Flare Blitz and accidentally kills herself. Holy cow, that's amazing tech. Swords Dance 2? Whoa! This Incineroar is crazy. This Incineroar is awesome. I'm not even mad, dude. I ain't even mad. Set up another Swords Dance. Why? I don't know why you're doing this. You must have Fire Punch, not Flare Blitz. At this point. Yeah, you do have Fire Punch. That's amazing. Okay, I'm not even mad. Incineroar kills everything. I'm just gonna write that. I'm just gonna write Incineroar kills everything. That's awesome. Dude, I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad. No wonder she didn't go into Incineroar there on the Scarm. I should have just... Because then she would have set this up on the Scarm instead. Yo, that's just... Oh my gosh. I'm just like blown away right now. I can't even, guys. I literally cannot right now. That set is phenomenal. I don't even know what just happened. But I'm so okay with it. This is honestly more what I care about in the UBL than winning the battles. And yes, I'm not just throwing battles. Like, I thought I had this battle if I just didn't do stupid things with the Skarmory. But, like... This Incin right here is what this is all about. This is what the UBL is all about. That's fantastic. So Incineroar's going to pick up 3 kills. I'm going to take a 4-0 loss. Can't even be mad. I can't even be mad. I just got beat. That's a phenomenal set. Holy cow, that's so good. All right, well, Frosted, great game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I sure did. I just had a great time, guys. I had a blast. But anyway, I'll see you guys all back here next week. I honestly forget who I'm playing in the schedule, so link will be, or not link, but a thing will pop up right now and tell you who I'm playing. But anyway, wow, that, I'm like, I can't, I'm gonna go take a nap now. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys all back here again with more Pokemon content. Take care, everybody.